Worrying about losing is losing before you even begin. It is a silent thief that steals your potential before you've even stepped onto the battlefield. Have you ever noticed how your mind creates elaborate scenarios of failure, yet rarely spends the same energy visualizing your success? You see, excuses make today easier, acting like a comfortable blanket that shields you from the cold reality of hard work. But that blanket is a trap. It makes today easier, but it makes every tomorrow a heavy, unbearable burden of what-ifs and regrets. Discipline, on the other hand, is the ultimate form of self-love. It makes today hard, I know. It demands your sweat, your focus, and your sacrifice. But in return, it makes your tomorrow light. It builds a foundation of freedom that no one can take away from you. Don't give up. I mean it. You are closer than you think. Often, the darkest hour is just before the dawn, and the heaviest resistance comes right before the breakthrough. Just have a little patience. Remember, all things are difficult right before they become easy. Think of the master pianist or the world-class athlete. They weren't born with those skills. They simply refused to quit when things were hard. Don't let yesterday's shadows take up too much of today's sunshine. We spend so much energy mourning past mistakes that we forget we are the authors of the current chapter. And if you get tired, learn to rest, not to quit. Resting is a strategy for longevity. Quitting is a permanent surrender to a temporary exhaustion. Sometimes being alone is the best medicine for your soul. In the silence of solitude, the noise of the world fades away, and the voice of your intuition grows louder. We fall, we break, we fail. It is the inevitable tax we pay for being human. But then we rise, we heal, we overcome. These cracks in our foundation are not flaws. They are where the light gets in. I'm telling you, sacrifice a few years of comfort for decades of absolute freedom. Most people are chasing instant gratification, but the real prizes belong to those who can delay their rewards. There are two most important days in your life: the day you were born and the day you find out why. Your why is your fuel. Without it, you are just a ship drifting in the dark. Hardship often prepares an ordinary person for an extraordinary destiny. It is the fire that tempers the steel. So, strive to be valuable, not just available. Don't be the person who is always there but never contributes. Be the person whose absence is felt. If you're brave enough to say goodbye to toxic habits, stagnant environments, and people who no longer serve your growth, life will reward you with a new, vibrant hello. Look at the eagle. When a storm approaches, while other birds seek shelter in the hollows of trees, the eagle uses the storm's updraft to reach heights you can't even imagine. It doesn't fly away from the struggle. It uses the struggle to soar. If you aren't willing to work for it, then don't complain about not having it. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you earn. One day, all those late nights when you were the only one awake, all those early mornings when the world was silent, and all those moments where you felt like you were screaming into the void, they will pay off. They are the invisible bricks of your future empire. Allow yourself to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent. The expert was once a disaster who just refused to stop. Do it alone if you have to. Do it broke. Do it tired. Do it scared. Just do it. Action is the only antidote to fear. Never make a permanent decision based on temporary feelings. Emotions are like the weather. They change from hour to hour, But your character must be like the mountain. Be proud that you survived the days you thought you couldn't. You are at your strongest not when you are shouting, but when you are calm in the midst of the storm. Life is like a book. Some chapters are heartbreakingly sad. Some are overflowing with joy. But every single one is necessary for the full story to make sense. One bad chapter doesn't mean it's the end of the book. It just means you are turning the page to something new. Train your mind to be stronger than your feelings. When your body says stop, let your mind say go. Stay quiet about your goals. Don't announce your moves before you make them. Let your results do the talking. Success is best when it's heard, not spoken. Everything's going to be all right. Maybe not today, but eventually the pieces will fall into place. But you cannot wait for the perfect moment. Do it now, because the brutal truth of life is that sometimes later becomes never. Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow.